Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with the Atakline for Monday, March 18th, 2013, or as many people would call it, Hangover Day. Hope everyone's enjoyed their St. Patty's Day weekend. Hope everyone had a good one, whether you were drunk or not, whether you're hungover or not, like I'm not. I had a great St. Patty's Day weekend. I had 3 gigs over the weekend. Starting on Friday, I had another special needs dance. Best one I've done in 2013 thus far. We had a great crowd. Special needs dances have been up and down lately. Last month, February, I expected a lot better because last February 2012 was awesome. I thought this February would be great, and it wasn't. The first one of the year, and it's only the second special needs dance of the year. It was already the best one. We had the best crowd yet. A lot of people dancing before 6:30 as usual. We had a great, I think about 80 people showing up. We had a big crowd for that. Probably the most packed I've seen special needs dances this year. Like I said, it's only the second dance I've done this year for special needs at the Washington Senior Center here in Michigan, near, like I said, Washington Township near Romeo. So it was a great show on Friday. All the line dances were played. I had to sneak in Thrift Shop. I think I played Thrift Shop at all my gigs this weekend, all 3 of my gigs. And the second gig I did, which was the first of a doubleheader, 2 gigs on Saturday, St. Baldrick's 30th Award, the Romeo Lions Club. I did the bingo tent, and it was the best St. Baldrick's I've done. It was a great bingo tent crowd. I played all the line dances. We did bingo games, and in between the games, I would play a dance song, like a cha-cha slide or Cupid Shuffle. And it was a great St. Baldrick's packed house. We had 2 shifts. Like the first shift, I call it, was like 12 to like 2. And that was like the best crowd. Then the second shift from 2 to 4:30 was not as good as the first shift. This first shift, but still. I call them shifts because there was 2 sets of crowds. Because it was like a packed house at St. Baldrick's. Despite snow falling early in the morning on Saturday, a lot of people still showed up to show their support for the research of children's cancer with the shaving of the heads. I kept mine because I had to keep at least good looking at the wedding I did. First wedding of the year. I did also on Saturday for Janelle and Scott. This is the couple name. And I did a wedding back in October. It was a little bit of a headache with the songs. You know, this one, the wedding we did on Saturday at Gazebo and Ward and Mound Road. Best wedding we've done this year. Only the first one we've done, but best wedding we've done not just of this year. Probably the best wedding we've ever done ever. It was a great crowd, packed house, great food, and we had a great time. Other people had a great time drunk in ass, you know, a lot of old people there. So a lot of disco ruled the night. Hustle and Casey and Sunshine Band, Michael Jackson, Lady Marmalade at the end of the night. And 90s, cheesy 90s and well, like Ice Ice Baby, stuff like that. And newer stuff like Thrift Shop did work, and Scream and Shout, some Black Eyed Peas stuff, and a lot of other songs worked. Anything from the 80s, if you're not Junior or AC/DC, failed. Because like I said, there's a lot of older people there. But it was a great night, great time. 3 awesome gigs this past weekend to celebrate St. Patty's Day in attack style. I got a gig this upcoming Friday, Easter egg hunt at the Washington Lions Club Gazebo, where I started the Silk events 15 years ago. Of course, all these dates, part of my Silk 13 tour to honor the 15th year anniversary of me putting on my own Silk events at the Lions Club Gazebo in Washington Township. Now, on with the entertainment news of the day. Starting with your #1 movie. Still #1 movie the second week in a row. It is Oz, the Great and Powerful. Now, the only big surprise this week is the #2 movie. People expected #2 movie to be the wonderful But Wonderstone. But not only did But Wonderstone did not land at #2, it lost to, of all movies, a WWE film. Yes, The Call with Halle Berry and David Otunga debuted at #2 with about 12 million, beating But Wonderstone, which is promoted a lot more than The Call did. And But Wonderstone had so many people, like Olivia Wilde was in it, Steve Buscemi, Steve Carell, and Jim Carrey. And they got beat by Halle Berry and David Otunga in a WWE film. Probably the most successful WWE film in a while. I think Dead Man Down did pretty well last weekend, but Call did way better. So there you go. Still #1, but surprisingly, a WWE Studios film beats But Wonderstone. Now, on with one of the biggest news of the weekend, Lil Wayne. Now, Lil Wayne was in the hospital over the weekend, and still is in the hospital after suffering seizures. And it seemed on Friday night that rumors were flying about his impending death, that his condition was critical. But many of his friends, including, of course, Baby, the president of Cash Money Records, said that Weezy F Baby is A-OK, that he's going to make a full recovery. And many people have visited Lil Wayne in the hospital. He's been in the hospital like once or twice in the last week. And he was visited by not just Baby Birdman, but Nicki Minaj and Drake. Nicki Minaj stopped by Saturday at the hospital at Sinai. And everyone's sending up the best wishes to Lil Wayne. And of course, the blame for the seizures, of course, sizzurp. Many people have accused sizzurp of being the cause of the seizures. Of course, sizzurp is a deadly combination of prescription medication like Robitussin, stuff like that. And Lil Wayne's had some bad problems with sizzurp in the past. He's had a bad sizzurp addiction problem. But I think this could be the moment where Lil Wayne could finally settle his sizzurp addiction and go to rehab to get this prescription drug issue settled. Unfortunately, I hope it doesn't have the same effect it did on Green Day, because Green Day was supposed to release their album Uno in a few days before. That's when Billy Joel went to rehab. Lil Wayne's album comes out next Tuesday, so hopefully Lil Wayne's not in rehab and he should be promoting the album. But until then, best wishes to you, Lil Wayne. Speedy recovery to you. Still in the hospital, recovering from those seizures caused by sizzurp consumption. Now, on the news on a person that Lil Wayne may have or may have not worked with before, Beyonce. Now, Beyonce's preparing herself for the Miss Carter World Tour, and she's promoting it with a brand new song that came out over the weekend called Bow Down, I've Been On. Anything Beyonce does now, I don't like it. You know, I don't like Form, because it's more of an R&B album, not more of a pop album. For me, I kind of like Love on Top. That was the only song I kind of liked. But everything else on it sucked. This album, the song is like a combination of two songs. Bow Down's like a hip-hop-y track that says, bow down, bitches, bow down, bitches. And I thought Suit and Tie sucked. Now, Bow Down sucked. And it went into, like, there was like a minute of this Bow Down song, then it went to this other song, I'd Go Down. It's like a combination of two songs together. You know, I've Been On comes in like 2 minutes into the song, and it's like this Beyonce. There's only a few minutes of an actual voice doing that Bow Down part. Then doing I've Been On, it's like kind of like auto-tune, like making her sound like a man. I hated it. I don't like it. You know, I don't think it's gonna make her album, but I think it's like a promotional song. It's like a promotional song to say, hey, Beyonce's back with a new song. Hopefully, when she really comes out with a first real song from her upcoming album, whatever that is, hopefully it's better than this promotional song, Bow Down, I've Been On, it sucks. So that's just my opinion of Beyonce's new song, Bow Down / I've Been On. Now, on with news, a little bit of news on JT, Justin Timberlake. Big week for him. Last week, it goes on Jimmy Fallon all week, promoting his new album, which comes out tomorrow, the 2020 Experience. Now, people looked at the track listing for the album and noticed the album's called 2020 Experience, right? There was only 10 songs. Well, if you count the Target version, 12. Where's the other 10 songs if it's 2020? Well, Questlove kind of treated at an event that JT has kept something in the bag that, yes, there will be a 2020 Experience Volume 2 coming out in the fall. So JT will probably release, like I said, the next 10 songs of this 2020 Experience in the fall. But then we get the first half of the 2020 Experience coming out tomorrow. I heard snippets of it. I don't like it that much. You know, I don't know if I would play it at my shows. If it gets really popular, you never know. But Suit and Tie ain't that popular. No one's requesting it at my shows. And Mirrors, same thing. And the rest of it's like more of a soul album. Like, it's JT's album's the same problem Beyonce's album 4 was. Justin focuses more on R&B soul crowd than the pop crowd. So that's what my opinion of JT's album is from what I've heard snippets of. So there you go. JT, second volume of 2020 Experience, heading to stores probably in the fall. Now, on the news on Rihanna. Now, Rihanna's tour has been plagued by various issues, including laryngitis, but she returned to the road last week in Philadelphia And now she's back fully on the road on the Diamonds World Tour. It's back up and running. There was no word on the postponed dates for Boston or Baltimore yet, but she'll probably announce them soon. But till then, not only she's on that tour, but she's also going to release a documentary based on the 7-day promotional blitz, Flight 777, 7 countries in 7 days, that she went on the week of her album release, Unapologetic, back in November, that was plagued by various problems involving press and logistics. But now the documentation of that journey will air on May the 6th on Fox. Of course, that will be a Monday night on Fox. It'll be like, I'm guessing 8 or 9 o'clock. I don't know how long the special is. I don't think they announced the time yet. So, there you go. Rihanna special documentary, Flight 777. The special about her 7-day road trip to promote her album Unapologetic will air on May 6th on Fox. Now, on with news on the the Academy of Country Music Awards, ACMs. Now, of course, they're, April 7th, WrestleMania Sunday. Now, last week I mentioned the first set of performers. I think I said like Wednesday or Thursday on the Atakline. I said the first set of performers were announced to be Luke Bryan, Blake Shelton, the co-host, Kelly Clarkson, Hunter Hayes, Miranda Lambert, Blake's wife, and George Strait, and Barry Perry. Now, the second set of performers have been mentioned today, including reigning, defending ACM Entertainer of the Year, Taylor Swift. I'm guessing she'll perform 22, her new single. Jason Aldean, I'm guessing he'll perform 1994, same thing, new single. Kenny Chesney, guessing he'll perform Private Flag, his new single. Tim McGraw, I don't know what song he'll do, because one of those nights, the most recent single of his, he already performed it at the CMA, so he may have a new song. Carrie Underwood, guessing she'll perform 2 Black Cadillacs for sure. Eric Church, definitely thinking he'll do like Jesus does his new single. Lady A, definitely gonna do Downtown, their latest single. Of course, the video for Downtown premiered last week. Actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And LBT, Little Big Town, also joining the performers. I'm guessing they'll probably do, I don't know if they'll do Tornado or not. So there you go. That's the second set of performers announced for the ACMs taking place April the 7th. Now, there is no word on the presenters yet. Hopefully we'll find those out soon enough. So there you go. ACM Awards announced more performers. Now, on with some sports news. Now, no Bellator this past Thursday, but there was UFC on Saturday. Now, I missed it because of my doubleheader gigs. So here's results from UFC 158, which was headlined by the UFC Welterweight Championship on the line. Nick Diaz taking on GSP in a long anticipated fight. And it went to unanimous decision. Let me guess. But like I said, I didn't see the fight. Let me guess what happened. GSP just took down Nate Diaz for the entire fight. Didn't let him stand up to knock him out. That's what I am guessing. But the co-main event won Fight of the Night honors. And it was Johnny Hendricks taking on Carlos Condit. And Johnny Hendricks defeated the most recent interim welterweight champion, setting himself up for a possible title shot against George. In another welterweight fight, Jake Ellenberger knocked the hell out of Nate Mulcourt in a knockout first round. And in middleweight, Chris Camozzi defeated Nick Ring in a split decision. And lightweight, Mike Ritchie defeated Colin Fletcher. Like I said, Hendricks beating Condit by unanimous decision, beating the most interim champion. And Hendricks, like I said, gets himself a title shot, possibly against GSP. Of course, the next UFC pay-per-view, UFC 159, will take place on April 27th. It'll be the Ultimate Fighter coaches, Jones against Sonnen. Hopefully, both are healthy. We've seen most recent Ultimate Fighter coach battles get scratched because of injuries. So hopefully this one stays strict. So there you go. Now, on with WWE Raw preview for the night. Couple of weeks till Mania. About 3 weeks till Mania now. So, should be an okay Raw tonight. Top 5 questions that must be answered tonight. Question number 5, which is a 2-part question. Will any new matches be made for Mania tonight? And will anyone be announced for the Hall of Fame again? Now, SmackDown announced, spoiler alert, well, not spoiler because it was announced. SmackDown this past Friday, The Shield will be in a 6-man tag against Randy Orton, Ryback, and Sheamus. Now, Ryback was taken out by the Shield, and there's rumors flying around he's being replaced by the Big Show. Rumors further instigated when WWE accidentally released a photo announcing Big Show as Ryback's replacement. Of course, setting up the match that I knew was going to take place, Ryback against Mark Henry. So I was like, wow, they're putting Ryback in his match against the Shield, when he should be against Mark Henry, which it is, even though I think it's going to be a stupid match, nonetheless. So we'll find out any changes or any new matches made for Mania tonight. When it comes to Hall of Fame, I think they're mostly done. They're probably trying to scrounge up names right now because they got like Donald Trump and Trish, Bob Backlund, Bruno Sammartino, Mick Foley. So who knows if they're even going to add anybody else at this point, being 3 weeks to Mania. But you never know. Question number 4. What kind of build-up will Rock and Cena build tonight? Now, Cena wasn't on Raw last week. Yeah, neither was Rock. I think they didn't want Cena to be on Raw without The Rock there. I don't know where Raw is tonight. I think if it's in Philly, Rock's there tonight. If not, Rock will return next week. Because Rock's been on a promotional blitz for his upcoming movie, G.I. Joe Retaliation. So Mr. Movie Star can come back and start a feud with Cena. The promo last week, I didn't like it that much 2 weeks ago when they did a promo. So hopefully they can build up the feud, even though I'm not the biggest fan of this rematch. As I mentioned many times on this show, the Atakline, and on my Raw reviews. If you haven't seen all my Raw reviews, I've been talking about this whole Cena Rock thing being a bad decision for the last couple weeks. I don't know publicity, but come on. A rematch? Sheesh. Question number 3. What will go down in tonight's Intercontinental Championship fight? Now, it'll be a triple threat match for the title. After interfering in the match between Miz and Jericho last week, Ray Barrett getting a little involved after being whammed by Miz. Jericho whamming Miz into Barrett. Barrett getting involved, causing a no contest. Of course, this match will be a triple threat match between Jericho, Miz, and Ray Barrett for the IC Championship. Should be a great matchup. These great guys, so it should be a decent matchup. Especially Ray Barrett's now a movie star. Kind of from Dead Man Down. Question number 2. What will Triple H say about the Brock Lesnar situation? Now, Brock Lesnar came back last week to beat up poor old New Age Outlaws. And he said that, well, Paul Heyman said for Brock that Brock accepts your challenge, Triple H, for Mania on one condition. You sign a contract to agree that we shall name the stipulation, which I expected to be no holds barred or something, like no DQ. Triple H said he will be on Raw tonight to answer Brock Lesnar's demands, his blackmail, as people are calling it. So let's see what Triple H has to say about this whole Brock Lesnar thing tonight. If he'll say yes or not, or delay the decision a week or two. Like many people are predicting. He's going to low over the decision for a few weeks. And question number 1, how will Punk and Taker continue their feud tonight? Now, like I expected last week, and unfortunately last week, as you all saw, the feud is going to be centered now about streak against streak, not centered around the fact that Punk had the longest reign as champion in most recent years, taking on the streak. They're going to focus on exploiting Paul Bearer's death. With the tributes made last week, which was great, but Punk kind of interrupted it to cause some heat on him. He even made fun of Paul Bearer at a house show over the weekend to continue his feud. He stole the urn last week following his loss against Kane after the Taker Gong distracted him with the mind game starting between Taker and Punk. We'll see how the feud develops tonight, in a feud that everyone's talking about, not Rock and Cena. Punk and Taker is the feud we all want to see. Yes, they fought before, but it's the first time we've seen them in a real one-on-one match. They wrestled a few years ago, but it was stipulation matches. It was a submission match. It was a Hell in a Cell. We get a real one-on-one match between Taker and Punk at Mania. So it should be a great feud. Hopefully it gets built up a lot tonight. As we head down the road to Mania, and it continues tonight on Raw at 8/7 Central on USA Network. Of course, Mountain Time and all that. Check your local listings. That is it for the Atakline for today. I'll see you all later for my Raw review tonight. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the news from Zach. Thank you so much. See you all later. Yeah.